Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm back again with another small build. This time it is a small starter house. I wanted to give the new persons who started playing Valheim something at their stage of the game. Don't worry, all the structural material can easily be accessed at the early stage, so just ignore the landscaping decoration and some interior decoration you see in the preview. Also, if you enjoy my tutorial videos, don't forget to leave a like. It does help the channel out a lot. With that said, let's jump right in. Okay, so the material that we need to make this starter house is just core wood and regular wood. One stack of core wood is fine, and I would suggest that you get like 2 chests full of wood just so that you have enough. So to do the structure, we're going to start off by placing the core wood down like this, and we're going to use a 2-meter wooden beam, and we're just kind of make out the dimensions of the structure. So it's about 2, 3. Then we put another core wood right here, and then we're going to put another 3 of these wooden beams and another core wood right here. We're basically doing the same thing till we have a complete box. So if you're wondering why I started with the core wood and not placing the wooden beams at the base or the ground to create the layout, it's because when you place the beams on the ground, and I'm using the core wood to support the structure of the house so I can go higher. When the core wood is placed on top of the beam, it's not touching the ground, which result not providing support. So when the core wood is not touching the ground, it's not blue, which is the most stable structure that we would need to go further. So now that we have our structure, our base structure set, now just wanted to add a little extra to this video, and just want to mention about using scaffolding. Now for persons like to build in survival, I like to use this at times when I'm going high with some structures, mostly back in the past when I was building a castle. So just wanted to share like an easy scaffolding this layout that you can use in your personal world. Personally, I like this scaffolding design here. Reason being, I can go to the left and do some work over here, and then go over to the right, and I also can meet up in the middle, stuff like that. Next, what we need to add is a 2-meter core wood on each of these corners. So in total, the height should be about 60 meters. So with the 4-meter at the bottom there, and then the 2-meter up top. So for this side structure that was extended over to the right of the build, because we're gonna make this our front, because I moved the scaffolding here, so I'm gonna get to that later on. So our side structure, we're gonna frame it out, and we don't need to place the core wood first because we're not going too high with this part. So we're gonna put a half wall right here and another half wall right here. Then we can put another half wall and a 2-meter. So it should be 3 meters in total. And we're just gonna do the same thing over here. Basically, the width of the structure should be about 4 meters in total. So once you have 2 of these 2-meter walls that can fit in side by side each other, then you're good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to focus on is how high the walls are going to be. Now I already placed some holes right here, so actually it's going to be a total of 3 meters. So you're going to have a 1-meter, and then I put a 2-meter hole on top. This should be the height, and this is where our roof will start. So we can place a 1-meter wood poking out from the side and one like this. We just do the same thing on the other side. What we're doing is framing out the roof and having a overhang for our structure to give our build some depth. Now we're gonna go on and focus on our main structure, and then we come back to the little one here. So for the main structure, we're just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna attach a 1-meter wood poking out like that, and one set into that direction. And we'll just do the same thing on the other side. So for the back, you should do the same thing so that you can have the roof meet up together. So we're gonna switch over to our 45-degree, and we're going to attach it to these edges here and basically meet up into the center. So you should have a basically triangle shaped roof. So once you have the back section added, you can switch on over to your 45 degrees straw roof, and we're just going to fill this all up. So next thing that we're going to add is our little overhang here. So we're going to use a 2-meter beam to frame it out, and we're just going to attach it up over here like that, and it should make it easier for us to place the straw roof in the middle here. Okay, so now we're back down to our little structure here, and we're going to use the same 45-degree for this part, and we're just going to have it attached like that. Now for this, you will get the X roof and not the triangle shaped one. And there you go. And then we just add our roof overhang. Okay, so once all of that is in place, we're gonna get our 45-degree wall, and we're just gonna attach to the edge here and the other right here. So you should have a little formation like this. What we're gonna frame out is our window. So we're just gonna get our 1 by 1 meter wall, and we just attach to the side here, side here. So basically you should have like a 2 meter by 2 meter window shape out like this. And what we're going to add is we're gonna add in our roof piece here, so that we can get this all get this filled out. We're just gonna drag it all the way across. That is fine. And so you should have something like this. And then we get our 45-degree roof ridge, and we just put that right in the center here. Right, so we're just gonna add a little bit of detail to this small structure here, and then we'll move on to the bigger structure. So we're just gonna fill in that little gap here. Our window, we're going to frame it out. Let's put a 2 meter wood up top and to the side. Now I like to give my windows depth, so we're just gonna put a 2 meter right in front, maybe slightly below this 2 meter here at the back, and then we can put a 1 meter wood wrapping around in to the structure like that. And we add a little detail at the top here, put in a 2 meter. Then we kind of put a 1 meter wood to the side right here. It's poking out, and you can use a small door for, you know, for a window. Open up like that. If we go inside, we can do that properly. So you should have something looking like this. Now we're just gonna get our 45-degree, and we're going to attach it right here, because we're going to give it some depth right underneath the roof. So just gonna give it a bit of this. For here, I would do this first. Makes it a lot easier for you. And we'll just take that out, kind of aim right underneath the roof here, so we can manually place this in about here. And we can try to do the same thing. We're just gonna slide this here, and see if we can manually slide this one in as well. Okay, so you should have something looking like that. Then we can get our 2 meter beam. Now we're gonna add some details here. So I like to add columns to the edges of this structure, especially when I'm doing wooden structure. So I would start off by, you just zoom in closely so that you can see clearly. So I'm using shift key a lot in this this section here. So I'm holding down the shift key and manually place this 2 meter pole, and we're going to switch on over to a 1 meter pole, and just put it to the side here, and one to this side. Switch on over to 2 meter pole once more, and basically it's covering the edge of this design. And then you just use the 2 meter pole all the way going up. State that one out. Let's add that one in. So you should have something looking like this. Let me pull that gap in, and like this little gap here, we can put like a 1 meter pole right here. So this structure is all done, so we're just going to focus on the main structure here, and we're just going to fill out the base here. So what I like to do is use the back of the wooden wall so that it can show this little pattern here, the beam that is going across from the back of the wooden wall as a little design. And then I would like switch around to the regular part of the wooden wall, that smooth part there, for the rest of the build going up to the top. So you have all the walls added here. Now up at the top here, the roof, so we're gonna have a little bit of difficulty, but it's pretty easy to solve. So right here, I'm gonna ask you to place a 1 meter wood, and then we're gonna place a 2 meter right center there, and another 1 meter on top of it. Once you have that added, is that you can switch over to the 45-degree wall so that it can snaps right in like this, so that it looks cleaner at the front here of the roof. You can do the same thing on the other side so that you can get that filled out. Then we can just use a 1 meter wood to fill these little gaps in. We can take out the 1 meter and the 2 meter pole that we've added earlier just to get that snapping point, and it should be all good. And we can switch on over to our 45-degree, and we're just gonna add detail here by just manually placing this in. So I'm just holding down on shift key, let's place that piece in, And I try this on the other side. For these piece that you're placing right here, just make sure that it's lined up with the edge of the 45-degree. You see at the bottom is basically lined up with the core wood there, the edge with the edge of the core wood. So we can just slide. Oh, that is good. So basically what you should see is that this edge here of the 45-degree is in line with this core wood going down. So that should be a good mark for you. Next thing we're gonna add is our little open roof structure we're gonna have right here. Now we're going to start off with the edge right here. So it's a 2-meter wall and a second 2-meter wall. So this point right here should have a 45-degree snapping into the wooden wall like that. Then you can get your X to snap within that spot there, which is good. Then we're gonna get our 2-meter beam. So let's go put 1, 2, and then we're gonna put a 1 meter at the edge. We just do the same thing. So 2 meter, another 2 meter, and 1 meter at the edge. So this is basically going to be our little open roof concept or overhang, and that is where it's going to start. So the column that we're going to add here to support is a 4-meter core wood, and we're just going to attach it right here, and the other one should be right there. Now just want to let you know that the staircase will get rain damage. So just to let you know, if you're not aware of that, but it does add a different look to the structure, and it's just a design idea. If you want to try it for yourself or put it to any build that you have there, yeah. So that is it. So yeah, so we're gonna frame out our roof here. Just gonna put a 45-degree right here and a 45-degree right here. We get the X to put up top, so it should be about here. Let me just get a ladder going up side. Should be able to get that in now. So that is it. And actually there's a little bit of correction here. So the column should actually be starting from around here. So let's take the column out. We're just gonna put it right here. Just get another 1 meter to put right here. We'll just take this out and then put it right here. So you should have something looking like that. So my apologies if you went ahead and did that already. So the next thing that we just need to do is just to get our ladders, and I'm just going to add 45-degree ladder right here and another right here. I like to space it out, so I like to add like a ladder and then just put a 45-degree beam right in between that. We also gonna need the beam just because we want to have a triangle shape roof with the ladders and not the ends. So we're just gonna put a 45-degree right here, and we're just gonna put ladder right here and one right here. Now for right here, we just see that snapping point where the ladder snaps in the middle of the X, and we just do the same thing, and we just can carry that across. And we just switch on over to our 45-degree. We just do the same thing. We just get it overlap that, and we do it like that. And we just can snap these in pretty much easy. This, and we'll just bring this across. Take this out, let's put this back, and it should have something like that. And we just put in our final beam here, and actually I just like how it looked to the side with the beams in between these ladders. Let's finish this off, and we just add our last piece. Okay, so we're just gonna add some detail under the roof right here. So we're just gonna get our 4-meter wooden pole. We're just going to aim right underneath the roof here, so it should snap into this 45-degree beam looking like this. We just get our 2-meter beam to go across here like this, and we're going to switch on over to our 26-degree beam, and we just going to snap it just like how you see that. We can even aim at this piece here and it snaps in like that, and you are good to go. The other detail that we're going to add, and this is I've discovered this by messing around with this structure, where you can just add some little detail to these little core wood to make it look like a official column if you want to put it that way. So I get a 1 meter wood and I place this as a back piece as a guide to help slide this further a little bit into the core wood. So it's about like right here, just a little something like that, and just want to make sure that it looks like it's centered. And we're just going to do the other side. We just do the same thing here. Best that we get that manually placed in. So we're just going to aim right on the bottom so that make sure that the line is always the same, and we don't want it to slide it too much to the front. We want the front of it to be smooth, so this could go back a bit. We just kind of slide it back down. It could do better. We'll slide this a little bit more, just aim, and there we go. So a smoother look, and the side is fine. We can just make the sides go, and we slide the last piece in, and should have something looking like that. We'll just take these little 1 meter holes that we had here as little guide, and it should have something like this. We can add a little bit of detail here where we can leave that in just to kind of cover up that core wood, snapping into the 2 meter wood up top. We can just do the same on the other side. We can do the same design here at the base here, so we just kind of wrap this around. This man will place this in, just wrap around, place this in, holding down shift key, and we just put our last piece in, and then you should have something looking like that. So next thing we're gonna add, seeing that we have our little structure added, so we're gonna add these columns to these core wood. So we're just gonna do this on all 4 corners of the main structure, and then we can focus on our flat open roof concept in this area. We start off with a 2 meter wood, and we just line it up with the core wood like that. We just switch over to the 1 meter and just kind of slide it into that gap here. Maybe we can bring this 2 meter forward some more and just draw it close to it, and we go back to the 1 meter, slide that in, then 2 meter again, and we could add a 1 meter here that we have space, and we just go all the way up. Just using 2 meter like that. So you can basically see the difference that adding the columns make when you add it to the structure. Now that we have all the columns added that we need to make our build pop, so we're just gonna add our open roof, our flat open roof concept right here. So just gonna put the 2 meter beam here and another, so we should have about 3. We'll just get our core wood to support that, and we can do another row, so it should be about 3 going across. See, we just snap this into the column like that, so it should be about 1 2. We work with 2, so 2, and we just come all the way down just like this and have this go across here, and we can just add another column right here, and we just switch on over to a 1 meter, so attach one to that direction, one here, one here, another here, here, here. It should be good. And we just fill in the middle here. Now that we have these core wood in, we can add a little detail like we did with these ones over here, make it look like we have a column. We just slide it in just a little like that. We'll just wrap it around, and just because this is the front, we don't want this to slide too much to the front, so we just want to have a smooth front here. We don't have to really focus much on the side. We'll just slide this in, and also we just do this here. I remember I was using these top beams so that we can position it properly, so we just do the other one over here, just slide it a little bit like about that, and then we just slide this in. Okay, so now that the structure of the build is complete, we can focus more on the inside and where we're going to put our chimney or doorway. So we'll start off with our doorway right here. We'll just use a half wall about this, because we're going to use the gate, the wood gate, and we just attach it like that, and we're just going to make it pop some more. So we're just going to place a 2 meter beam right there, and just basically frame out our door jamb. So that's what we're going to do, just make it pop out like that. I'm just get a 1 meter, just do it like this. If you know me, I just use this as my standard door jamb design. So for floor, this arrangement here, what I've done is I've used the space here up top for the storage, So I have placed a 1 meter 1 by 1 meter wooden floor like this and kind of wrap this around this section here, so you can put your chests up top. I've squeezed about 5 chests up here, which is a good amount of chest storage in the early stage. So our top floor is going to basically start so it's basically 4 meter wall high. So we're basically 2 of these 2 meter wall, and then we place it right about there. And we're just going to work on our staircase. But before we do, we just want to mark where our fireplace is going to be, and it's just a simple design I'm going to do here. So it's going to place a wall about here and a wall about here. We switch on over to our 45-degree, and we're just going to attach one here and attach this right here. And we switch on to a 45-degree wall. Let's fill this side in, fill that in. It gets glow up here. It's need to fix properly, so we just fix that and just fill this in properly. And then we just kind of use I use the back part of the wall here just for the chimney. I always like using the back part and do something like this. It's nothing fancy, not gonna go all the way up, so we're just gonna stop it about right there and just get a 45-degree wall. I'll snap these to the side, and then we get a 45-degree roof right in the middle, so that the smoke can vent out properly and it's not affected by the rain. And that is it for our chimney. Simple and basic, nothing fancy. Okay, so now that our chimney is all set, so what I'll do is just take out these walls so that you can get some maximum space, so that you can add more campfire to your chimney. So you can put one here and one here, and you can just put a couple of these. So for the chimney, so we have it all set here. We're just going to take out this wall, and we're just going to get our 1 meter wood, snap piece right here, and snap another this direction. We're just basically finding that middle snapping point so that we can place this 45-degree, so that we can snap it in the middle. We can just take these out, and we should be good there. Now for this little section here, we're going to fill this out. We're just going to get our half wall. We just put that in, and we're just going to get our 45-degree again, and we're just going to add a bit of detail so that this can pop up some more. So we're just going to position it so that the top here is lined up with this beam here, and just do the same thing on the other side. Make it snap in like that. That is fine. We're just gonna get a core wood to add some little detail here to the side. So snap that piece here, snap that here, and you're good to go. I mean, it's just a basic shape. I know I'm gonna go fancier with this, but yeah, I just want to tone it down a bit. And now we're gonna focus on how we can get up to the second floor. So we're just gonna open up these 2 flooring, and we're just gonna attach a staircase about here. Let's see, it's actually 1 meter we need about that, and then we can attach a staircase about here. Let's see if we can get that in. So around that, and then we attach another 1 meter about here, and then we switch on back to the staircase and one like that. So you should be able to go up the stairs pretty easy like this. And we just get a 1 meter floor and just attach one right there. And for here, we just want to make sure that we're able to go downstairs, because there is at times a problem with the hitbox. So we switch to the 4x4 flooring, and we just manually placing this in. Get it a little bit more. We'll just make sure it's not too much. Okay, so and then we just do the same thing that we done earlier, and now we're able to access our floor with ease. Okay, so the final structure that we need to add is over here. So we just need to take out this wall, and we're just going to add these half walls up top just to fill in the gap here. And also right here, we're gonna have a doorway. We're not gonna put any doors, so this is fine. And what we're gonna put right here is a 26-degree staircase. So it's kind of coming down to the bottom right here, and we're going to have our flooring connecting right here, going across like this. And we're going to have a curve with this section. So we're just gonna get a 1 meter beam, and we're going to start off with 1 rotation from this point on. Well, actually, should give it 1 extra like this. Then we start off with 1 rotation about here. Just one more rotation another, and another. Okay, so you should have something looking like this. And what I'll add right here is a core wood, or well, not for support, just for it to look like it's being supported. So now that we have the platform all set, here we're just going to frame out our little staircase here. We'll just add a few of these and we'll just get the right side up. One, we'll just attach it like that. I mean, you don't necessarily have to use this. You could just use a regular 25-degree beam and just finish it up just like this. Just 2-meter wood right here and one right here. And for our railing here, I'm going to use the half wall for these little sections here. Now, if you reach the Bronze Age, you'll be able to use shutters. And if you want to try that out, I like to use shutters for these parts. Finally, we are done, so we can move on over to the interior preview. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave a like to help out the channel and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos. Thank you to my patrons and YouTube members for their support so that I can continue making these videos, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to always aspire to inspire. Peace.